Welcome to the Employco HR Chat. I'm Rob Wilson. With me is Jason Eisenut, our Vice President of HR.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks for joining us this week. So, Jason, mid-year, you're hearing a lot of talk about larger and smaller companies going through potential layoffs for a variety of reasons: the economy, tariffs,
AI.
right? So, a bunch of different reasons. So, but you're hearing more and more about that in the media.
Yeah, Harvard Business Review just came out with their study and survey that said 1 in 5, so 20% of small and mid-sized employers are going to be going through some layoffs in 2025.
Okay, so I think over the next couple of minutes, let's give a couple of tips of what to do or how to plan.
Yeah, so if you're in the unfortunate situation where you're going to have to do some downsizing or layoffs, hopefully you've already kind of planned ahead. So have you already thought about freezing bonuses, freezing pay, looking at freezing open jobs? Maybe you're going to actually consider furlough. So maybe you can furlough your workforce for 2 weeks at a time instead of laying people off. But if you do end up having to go through the layoffs, make sure you plan ahead in terms of how are we going to pick which employees? Is it equitable? Are we worried about any diversity and equity inclusion or discrimination laws?
Is it department by department? Right. You want to look at discrimination, though. You want to look at age discrimination in other areas. So you really you want to plan ahead and
Yep.
make sure you're doing it correctly.
And if you're going to be doing severance agreements, work with a company like us or a law firm. We can help on what should be in a severance document and a separation agreement, and make sure you don't just use boilerplate templates. We need to tailor it for each organization.
And I think then you really need to communicate well, because whenever there's a termination, one person gets fired or terminated, it's typically not a bigger deal or a bigger issue company-wide from a culture standpoint. But if you're firing and terminating multiple people, you really want a communication plan, because you really want to stay out in front of it.
Yeah, and communication plan not only for the terminated employees and making sure that goes well and being empathetic, but also for the surviving employees. Like they might be worried, is it something coming in 6 months, and what is my workload now going to look like?
Right. So then from a retention standpoint, are you going to have people that you want to retain then say, well, I need to be looking for a job?
Right, right. Or am I just so dissatisfied? So you really improve the employee engagement also. So that's one of the other tips is not only we need to be empathetic to the terminated employees and the surviving employees, but also we need to really ramp up our employee engagement and that communication with the existing employees and the remaining employees to make sure once a week, once a month, these one-on-one meetings, like how are you feeling? How's your workload? What was there anything I can do as a manager to help you in your position?
Right, and typically morale is affected by terminations and layoffs. So you really want to work on your morale and make sure that your morale still stays at a good level.
Yeah, that's probably a combination of these one-on-one meetings with remaining employees, but also management team meeting. Like, what are you guys hearing as a management team? Are you hearing dissatisfaction, morale? What do we need any company-wide efforts to kind of go at this?
Yeah, and with the morale, so your communication of focus on the future. What's the future bringing us?
Great point.
We're getting through this rough patch, but our company goals are X. Our company plan is
We're excited,
right.
Yeah.
And that we're excited for the future. We have to get through these issues, but the future is bright. Well, you need to be really
Yeah, good point.
craft, and that's going to go hand in hand with your culture too.
Yeah.
So, but if you have questions, feel free to reach out to us at hr@employco.com, where we can definitely help you if you have some issues there. And Jason has some PDFs that you
Yeah.
can send on the same.
Help plan and severance and separations and furloughs and layoffs. And yeah, we happy to help any way we can.
Great. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks.